Mr. President, my question is to the Minister for Roads. The 2019 AAMI crash index has just been released, which confirms that Plenty Road, Bundoora, is the worst location for collisions in Australia. When is the government going to fix Plenty Road?
Minister.
Plenty Road has again appeared at the top of this insurance company's assessment of their own claims data. So it's a very different measure to the measure that we often describe in talking about road safety, where we look at serious injury and casualty crashes. But that said, this is a big insurer, and it's a notable survey. Plenty Road appeared at the top of the list last year as well, and AAMI in their own statement say that the purpose of them releasing this information is to encourage people to be particularly vigilant of their surroundings and their circumstances. But upgrade works are having an improvement in Plenty Road, and the Plenty Road experience in this most recent release of data is something of an improvement on the previous year, which is encouraging. There are some other roads that have increased their standing on this particular league table published by this insurer. But our message to all drivers is to be aware of your surroundings, stay off the phone. We only ever need to be in our cars for a moment to see people on phones. We know that people are driving distracted. We know people are driving with drugs and alcohol in their system. We know that this year we've got an extraordinary problem with people being without their seatbelts. The analysis by the insurer will certainly be of interest to lots of people in the community, and I support their efforts in shining a light on the need for people to take particular care on the road. As for upgrades to intersections, upgrades to roads, the government is currently upgrading a couple of hundred intersections, upgrading many roads, spending in the order of $300 million a year on safety upgrades, and we will continue our effort to do that. While we have people dying on our roads, I'll be the first to recognise that we all need to do more. But the clear message out of this data today is that people need to be very conscious of the road rules and very conscious of their responsibilities to themselves, their loved ones and others on the roads when they're getting about their business.
Mr. Rich-Phillips on a supplementary.
Thank you, Mr. President. I thank the Minister for her response. Minister, the same report also shines a light on Maroondah Highway Ringwood, which has deteriorated from the 14th worst to the 4th worst in the league table. What interventions is the government taking on Maroondah Highway to address that deterioration?
Minister.
Thank you, President. I thank Mr. Rich-Phillips for his further question. I'm happy to seek some further advice about the specifics of this list of locations, but what I would indicate to the House again is that the crash data that we use prioritises fatality and serious injury incidents, and I think that most members would agree that that's an entirely appropriate way to identify risk. On the specific question of upgrades on that stretch of Maroondah Highway that's referred to in the report, I'm happy to take that on notice. But again, my message to motorists is keep your eyes on the road.